Welcome to the Allan Barry Reports TV show. I'm Allan Barry Labucan. I'm your host, and I'm from the AllanBarryReports.com. Thank you very much for joining us. Today's program is going to be a new installment of our resource stocks in the news segment. And later in the show, towards the end of the show, we'll sort of give you an overview of our upcoming shows that we expect to have out before the end of this, at the end of this week. So, as I said, we'll be doing another in the news segment. Got two companies to talk about today, and from those two companies, we have three press releases to discuss. And so we'll get right to it. The first company that we're going to talk about today is a company called Bayfield Ventures Corp. And their website, I'm just going to pull it up here right now, is bayfieldventures.com. That's BAYFIELDVENTURES.com. And the press release that we're looking for is from September the 7th. If you go to their news releases section, you'll find that press release. The headlines from the press release is Bayfield drills 35.93 grams per ton gold over 10.0 meters within 13.28 grams per ton gold over 28 meters in Rainy River, Northwest Ontario. Also, they noted that they announced additional high-grade gold discovery on its 100% owned Burns Block property in the Rainy River district of northwestern Ontario. The Burns Block is situated immediately to the east and on strike to Rainy River Resources Gold Project. For our viewers that watched our last show, we talked about Rainy River. We've talked about Rainy River in the past as well, and they've got quite an exciting discovery out there in Ontario. And now it looks like Bayfield also has an interesting project based on some early stage drilling results. Later in the press release, they have some highlights from the drilling. They talk about how much work that they're doing on the project. They highlight some of the drill holes that came back with some very promising grades and intersections. They talk about quite extensively in the press release about their exploration efforts, and they also noted that they've got an ongoing program. They currently have 13 additional holes completed and assays pending, so we'll be watching very closely for those. And as I said again, they have quite a bit of details about the drill holes, where they were situated, and their reasoning behind drilling those holes. I'm just going to hold on for a second here. Got to check something. Okay. Yeah, and so then they also have a drill hole plan map that's attached to the press release. You just click on that link and it'll take you so you can take a look at the drill exploration map. They have the table with the various different drill holes in there. And later in the press release, I'm just trying to find it here, there's a quote from their CEO, Jim Pettit, who stated, and I quote, "We are elated to have hit another high-grade gold intercept in only the 11th hole drilled in the current 50-plus hole program. Bayfield continues to intersect gold zones on its Burns block at both shallower and deeper depths. We are now more confident than ever that with continuing drilling, a significant gold resource can be delineated on the Burns block." End quote. And so that's all the key information that I wanted to talk about from the press release. Oh, I forgot to mention any disclosure. We have no disclosure. We're not shareholders of the company. This is the first time they've been on our show or we've talked about them. And so got to get that out of the way as well. The reasons that this company came up to us is, first of all, the first thing we always look for in any mining company is what is coming out of the drilling. And so they had very good drilling results that caught our attention. Then we start to look for, well, where is it located? In this case, it's in Ontario, so that's a mining-friendly in a mining-friendly country and a mining-friendly jurisdiction. And then we look for, often a great place to look for new deposits is where there's old deposits. And in this case, this area where they're working has seen a lot of historical working. And of recently, in the last few years, Rainy River has been making quite an impressive discovery. In fact, we talked about Rainy River on just on our last program. And so you can go see that show if you want to hear what we had to say about Rainy River. So it's in a good area, and they've had good drill results, and we like what we see in the area as well. And so where we'll go with the coverage of this company in the future, now that we talked about them here on our show, we're going to be adding them to our radar screen. Companies that are on our radar screen, we are sort of the companies that we want to monitor closely, and also are considering to add to our email newsletter as a featured company. And so we'll be putting Bayfield Ventures into that category, and we'll be watching closely for those future drill results. This project has definitely caught our attention, and we'd like to see additional drill holes. They're early into this project, but so far so good. So if you want to do some homework on the company, again, as we always recommend, we don't do buying or selling recommendations, but we try to find companies for our viewers that are good companies to do your homework on. And a great place to start that is at their website, which is bayfieldventures.com. So that's a wrap on our chat regarding Bayfield Ventures. The next company that we're going to talk about today, just going to get some of this stuff out of my way here, is a company called Queenston Mining Inc. Queenston's a company that we've been following for a couple years now, and we are not shareholders of the company. Our past coverage of them has only been on our old radio show that we used to do. And if you're viewing this show on our website, just above me there, you'll find a link to our the radio show player. And if you want to find, the best way to find about our various different shows is if you go to our blog. There's also a link up there for the blog. You'll find what we do is whenever we do a show, we do a brief description or overview of the show, and you can find that in the blog. And also on the blog, we have a past radio shows button, and you can go in there and find where Queenston was talked about, and then go back to the radio show player and find that show, and you can follow our coverage of Queenston. So Queenston has actually had two press releases out recently that we wanted to talk about today. One is from September the 7th. And if you go to their website, they have a section called News. And in there they have all their past news releases. So you go to the September 7th news release. And from that press release, the headline was that Queenston reports 2.05 grams per ton gold over 32 meters at Upper Canada. They go on in the press release to note that they announced results from an additional 52 surface diamond drill holes covering 13,865 meters from the 2010 drill program completed on its 100% owned Upper Canada property located in the Gauthier Township of Kirkland Lake, Ontario. Then they noted that a total of 107 holes have now been reported targeting a large alteration zone that measures 300 meters by 1,800 meters enveloping the past-producing Upper Canada mine. The first 55 holes were reported in news releases dated October 1st, 2009, February 16th, 2010, and May the 10th, 2010. New assay results from the recently completed holes are listed in the table below that press release on their website. And the hole locations are outlined on a plan accompanying this news release. It's deeper down in the news release where you'll find that. They had highlights of the various different drill holes. We're not going to go over all of them. One of those holes, for example, had a 2.05 grams per ton gold over 32 meters. They also had several others with promising results like that. Then there's a quote from Charles Page, who's the president and CEO of Queenston, and he said, and I quote, "The drilling program at Upper Canada continues to produce positive results and adds to the potential of establishing an open pit resource. The recent phase of drilling has provided infill information between previous holes and complements the continuity of the mineralization. The program continues with 3 drills, and the company will be adding more rigs to provide the necessary information required to complete a mineral resource, as well as test the potential of this large gold system further west and south." End quote. Mr. Page did a great job there of sort of outlining what's been going on with the project and where they're headed with their future work. A good indicator of a management's excitement about about an exploration project is always related to how aggressively we want to drill, and they're definitely getting into that. So that was that press release. Then they had another one out just in the last couple days, or last week, and the the headline from that news release is Queenston reports 208 grams per ton gold over a 1.1 meter, 184 grams per ton gold over 1.3 meters, and 19.5 grams per ton gold over 5.2 meters from the Bidgood Lebel property. They also noted that Queenston announced results from an additional 22 diamond drill holes completed on the 100% owned Lebel property located in the Lebel Township, Kirkland Lake, Ontario. The property is one of the key assets Queenston acquired through the merger with Vault Minerals completed on April the 20th, 2010. Again, there's a really good quote from Charles Page, who's the president and CEO of Queenston, who said, and I quote, "We are very encouraged by the recent drilling results, returning numerous high-grade values beyond the limits of the past-producing Bidgood mine. The multi-ounce values encountered, combined with the geological environment, appears similar in character to the historic Kirkland Lake main break located 6 kilometers to the west in Tech Township. We are pleased with the continued potential for a surface open pit resource overlying previously mined portions of the property. We view the Bidgood Lebel property as providing an additional source of feed towards the company's goal of returning to producer status through the establishment of a central gold milling facility in Gauthier Township to process ore from the 100% owned Upper Beaver, Upper Canada, McBean, and Anoki deposits." End quote. And so I just got to pull something up here quickly. So that's some of the key information from Queenston. Again, we follow Queenston because they've got very good projects in good, well-known mining-friendly jurisdictions. They got a lot of work, as they mentioned in the press release. They're moving towards being a future producer. They've got plenty of projects to work on. And again, if you, as we always recommend, if you'd like to do your homework on the company, you can find them at queenston.ca. That's QUEENSTON.ca. That's a wrap on our chat regarding Queenston. Before closing, I'd like to stress that this show and our reports are for information purposes only. We aren't making buying or selling recommendations. It's important for you to do your own research and speak with your financial advisors before making any investment decisions. We're always trying to grow our audience. If you'd like to help us with that, we'd always appreciate that. So send a note out to your friends or give them a call and let them know about how to find our show. We really appreciate you taking the time to watch the show. we're well aware that everybody is busy these days, and we thank you for that. We'll have some new shows out tomorrow, another In the News segment, and then on Friday we're going to do some market commentary. So have a great day, and we'll see you soon.